Whether you like it or not, fall is just around the corner. But the good news is there are some fab footwear trends heading our way. And in today's episode, I'm sharing the very best of them. Hi, I'm Leonie and welcome to my channel. I edited some of New Zealand's top-selling women's lifestyle and fashion magazines for a number of years before I decided to start this YouTube channel so that I could share some of my best kept styling secrets with you. Today we're talking about fall footwear trends, and I don't know about you guys, but fall is one of my favorite seasons for fashion. You get to rug up a little bit, but it's not too cold outside, and fall footwear is a dream. So today I'm talking about the top fall footwear trends that you can expect to see. And the good news is that some of them I'm sure you will already own. So without further ado, let's just jump right into these trends. Now, the first footwear trend that we can expect to see, and arguably the biggest, that is the return of platforms. Now, platforms have been gaining momentum in the last couple of seasons, but they will definitely be the shoe of fall winter. Now, the great thing about them is that they're going to give you height. They give the illusion of a longer leg, so they do sort of lengthen you a little, and what they do tend to be is far more comfortable than a straight stiletto. If you're after a little bit of height but you don't want to sacrifice comfort, then platforms are definitely the way to go. What I did see designers doing was they were adding a tiny little sock or a little sparkly metallic-y sock teamed with some of those platforms so that you can wear them through into the winter season as well. But platforms are definitely where it's at. Now, this next shoe trend we're actually borrowing from the boys, and that is the return of skater style shoes, sort of low-rise skater boy shoes. So designers have sort of reimagined that classic skater shoe trend and given them a little bit more of a feminine flair as well. What I have seen is cute sort of coloured detailing, coloured laces added to them, just a few little details that sort of take them out of such a masculine realm. So if you're not into platforms and you want comfort over and above everything else, which is me, that is so me, then take a look at some of these skater shoes, because I think once you get your head around wearing trainers, sneakers, these type of skater type shoes with skirts, dresses and pants, there truly is no going back. Trust me, I dipped my toe in that trend a little while back and have not looked back. And at this point, I'd just like to say a very big thank you to the team at Squarespace for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. Now, Squarespace has to be one of the easiest ways to build an online presence. Whether you are looking to start a blog or an online store, Squarespace has you covered. Not only is it really easy to use, but it also comes with all of the marketing tools and all of the analytics you need to succeed. The blogging options are super easy, and if you're not that tech savvy, then you'll love Squarespace. It's actually a really intuitive platform to use, so you don't need any extra special skills to get started. I recently moved my blog over to the Squarespace platform and have just found it super easy to use. When I got started, I used one of the Squarespace templates, so there are so many templates to choose from, and you just have to pick one that works for your aesthetic or what you're trying to achieve. So I started with a template, and then I've kind of modified it and made a few little tweaks and changes just to give it my own little flair. And when it comes to the day-to-day operation of your Squarespace site, it is simple to use. In fact, it's as easy as just dragging and dropping content blocks, and you can, in a few clicks of the mouse, just change the way your blog looks and feels. So if you are thinking about setting yourself up online, what I would suggest is going over to squarespace.com, taking advantage of the free trial there, and that's a great opportunity just to get familiar with the platform and how easy it is to use. Then when you're ready to launch, use my link, which I will leave in the description box below, and that is simply squarespace.com/The Style Insider, and my code, which is The Style Insider, and that will save you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with Squarespace. So it's easy, it's affordable, and it's definitely the way to go if you're looking to set yourself up online this year. Now, Chanel, Dior, Marni all sent their models down the runway wearing fashion-forward wellies or gumboots or whatever you call them. Actually, let me know in the comments, what do you call gumboots? or wellies or galoshes, or yeah, what do you call them? We call them gumboots here in New Zealand, but I'd love to know what you call them. But designers are putting a really fresh, modern spin on the humble gumboot, and I'm so here for it. I think that they're obviously really practical, they're waterproof, they are easy to wear, easy to team with outfits, and yeah, they're just practical and they make sense. So to give the humble gumboot or welly a little bit of a glow up makes so much sense. Oh, that reminds me, and I'll try and find a photo to show you here. Todd's did a great pair of these wellies in they almost look like a classic riding boot, but they're obviously gumboot fabric. So these are genius to me. I think that they are the type of boot that you could hang on to and wear for years to come. Now this next trend is going to be great for all of those magpies out there, and it is the trend for shimmery, sparkly, metallic style shoes for fall winter. And I've seen some gorgeous colored metallics in over the knee boots, and I've seen some beautiful sandally type shoes with sequin detail. There's a whole lot of shimmer and sparkle going on for fall. The great thing about a shoe like this is you can have a very simple classic outfit that you don't have to sort of think too much about, and your shoe becomes the statement of that outfit. So that's the reason I particularly like these metallic-y, sparkly, real statement shoes, because you don't have to spend too much time on your outfit because the shoes do all the talking. If you're getting value out of this video, I would really love you to give it a thumbs up, and also grab a copy of my free ebook, which is called 60 Fashion Tips and Tricks That Everyone Should Know. I will link that in the description box below. So when you finished watching this video, you can whip down there and download it for free. Now I know this one will make a number of you really happy, and that is the return of cowboy boots. And of course, for many of you watching, I'm sure cowboy boots are always in fashion. It obviously depends on where you live. They're certainly not in fashion here in New Zealand, but when they come around as a sort of a real trend, they do start to emerge, and that is what is happening across the board. Not just in your sort of cowboy, traditional sort of Texas cowboy states. Cowboy boots are being slightly reimagined. Some of the designers are paring them back so it's the same shape and style as a classic cowboy boot, but some of that detailing and punch detail and the actual sort of detail on the boot, whether it's fringing or pattern, that's not there. So it's a simplified version of that classic cowboy boot. So that is definitely up my alley. So I'll be looking for a pair for myself, but please let me know if you're a fan of cowboy boots, or if you always tend to wear them, or you've never worn them and never intend to. I would love to know, and let's all chat about that in the comments below. Now this next trend is quite an interesting one, and it's more of a detail, and that is buckles. And large, loud statement buckles are being added to classic Mary Janes, or back on your sort of biker boots, which is another real footwear trend that we're seeing re-emerge, and that's one that I particularly love. I find that sort of grungy biker style boot teams really well with some feminine pieces that I own, some dresses and skirts, and I love the fact that you can easily get that sort of high-low look by adding a pair of biker boots. And so the buckles are everywhere, from knee-high boots to over-the-knee boots to, as I said, Mary Janes, but buckles are everywhere, and the bigger, the better. Now this one may not seem new, but it is definitely gaining momentum, and that is chunky style loafers. I think this is a great shoe. Again, it gives you a little bit of height because there's a little bit of elevation with that chunky sole. They're obviously slip-in, so they're really easy in fall when you want to take your shoes off when you arrive at someone's house or when you get home, and they're just a very practical but well put together, timeless shoe. So buying and investing in a great loafer is going to give you all of the benefits of a great fall shoe that will easily take you through to winter, and the fact that it's a timeless shoe that you can hang on to for a really long time, pull out and wear again, is another reason why I think these chunky loafers are a really good option. Now the tried and true classic Mary Jane is back and in full swing for fall as well. I've seen lots of different interpretations of a classic Mary Jane, and the changes that I've seen are things like the fabric that they're being made out of. I've seen denim Mary Janes, sort of flannel type material Mary Janes, obviously your patent, which is a classic, and a lot of the Mary Janes that I've seen have got multiple strap detailing over them, and as I said earlier, some of them have those large chunky buckles on them, but Mary Janes are perfect. And also, again, you can just add a little sock to them if you want to take them through to the cooler months as well. But I know that this is going to make a lot of you really happy, because I know for a fact that a lot of you love Mary Janes. So let me know in the comments below if you are yes to Mary Janes or if you're a hard no to them. I would love to know. I love them personally. I don't own any at the moment, but it might be time for me to invest. Now this one may not come as much of a surprise, because I have mentioned this particular trend in my last couple of videos, and that is the trend for wearing over the knee boots. Now this is, in my opinion, a bit of a tricky one to pull off, but what I do suggest is that you opt for an over the knee boot that has a flatter heel. I think some of those sort of skyscraper stiletto over the knee boots can sometimes look a little bit cheap, and you, I think, have to spend a little bit more time styling them to give them a sophisticated edge. If the heel is a little bit lower, that's kind of just a natural chic look. So over the knee boots are great. They have their practical uses. They're warm, they cover up your knees, they are great worn with dresses and skirts, and it means that you can wear a slightly shorter skirt if you like, but definitely proceed with caution. Now last but not least is the trend for wearing slanted style heels, and I'll flick up a couple of pics here so you can see what I'm talking about. But these heels they're interesting, they're kind of architecturally interesting. Me personally, I won't be wearing them. I did own a pair of cowboy style boots that had that sort of slanted heel, and I always felt like I was kind of falling over backwards. Perhaps they are a little bit more ergonomically, or better ergonomically, and that doesn't happen, but that was kind of a big turn off for me. But it's a tricky one because I do like the look of them. They are really an easy way just to add a bit of interest to a very classic sort of wedge or heeled shoe. But as I said, it's one that I am definitely going to be proceeding with caution. But these slanted heels are going to be around come fall. In fact, I'll see if I can find any that are on sale at the moment so you can check them out. And while I love fall fashion, there are some trends heading our way that I think we need to avoid. So why don't you go and check out this video here where I'm featuring 10 fall fashion trends that are not worth spending your money on.